Okay, so as any painting, this painting also has a story. It's still incomplete. I did a quick sketch because I was angry, I felt rough, and I wanted to just, show the middle finger to the guy who scammed me, and that scam lasted for about a year. So what happened was that I was a part of a club, study club, self-development club that uh, worked on helping people, and the club still exists. I just left. Clubs helps people to achieve their highest financial goals and feel good, and basically, work on your personal excellence. And everything seems really coherent and interesting. The information is very good. Now, whenever it started taking off, and a lot of people, the club members, started reaching out to me, and some of them seemed really iffy, and some of them seemed very, very good and coherent. And I felt blessed to have community of people that wants to help you succeed in life. And it felt very new to me because I was very secluded in my environment for a long time. Now, this was an environment when I understood that there are people I can trust. There are people who were where you were, meaning they went through such a lows to such good highs in their lives, especially financially, feeling good in their own skin, being good people, being disciplined, being open-minded, being spiritually connected to the source. And apparently there were also people who were taking advantage of that exact stream of events that was happening. I was reached out by a gentleman on Telegram, already suspicious, right? Then back then I didn't realize that, and I had a conversation with him where we discussed all the membership perks from that club. He said that he was a level 5 member, which is a high level in the club, and I was only a beginner. And he would share a very specific things that only high level member would know, vaguely enough, but very convincing. And certain things made a lot of sense in my understanding. Everything was synchronized. I felt blessed that universe finally responding my prayers about financial stability. I really wanted to retire my parents and have good life for myself, being able to afford travel and certain things that I sometimes cut myself short on getting, and just have ease, have financial ease in my life. So all of that, of course, being, I don't know if I was desperate, but I guess I was, since I fell for that BS that guy fed me. Despite that, for a year, I was investing into crypto system that actually is still rolling apparently, but from what I suspect, it's just the numbers going up. I put real money in there, but I was never being able to withdraw any money, and under any excuses that, like, hey, you promised me that I will be able to withdraw money, there would be always a next step and always next step and always another next step, and I would never actually get any money that I was promised. So this is how that works. And eventually I was thinking that when I realized that it was a scam, I was thinking I can find a lawyer that can help me to reverse that crypto scam, even though I've read a lot that crypto is basically irreversible. The reason the blockchain is set up that way is that, once one and done, you can't really put it backwards or do like refund. However, I stumbled upon another scammer that pretended to be a lawyer from a legit company. And when I talked to him for a while and he was guiding me through and explaining to me how the scam artists work, that first gentleman that I was in communication with, to whom I was investing money, was absolutely definitely a scammer, and that if we can reverse the transaction, the lawyer gentleman would help me. And it also appeared to be an absolute scammer as well. He lied gladly. He explained to me how the scam artists work. He explained that it's really hard to find them because they may be sitting somewhere at the computer that is not located where they at. They're using VPN, and the VPN connected to some computer that just running 24/7 somewhere in a storage garage or whatnot. Which was helpful. He pointed out to a lot of mistakes in email communications that I had, which made a lot of sense. And then I called the lawyer company headquarters and asked for that gentleman's information, asked for that agent to be present, and they told me that that agent doesn't exist. This is when I realized that the lawyer that I was speaking to, who was also trying to get my money, was also a scammer. So I went through an interesting chain of events with fraudsters and scammers, and at first I was extremely devastated. For about a week, I was depressed. I was getting into the painting creativity kind of to purge my feelings, and this painting is a result of those feelings. I painted this middle finger and I sent it to all my scammers and anybody who ever trying to reach out to me now asking, hey, can I offer you a job, or I have a crypto opportunity that maybe you would like to jump into. I'm just sending them this picture and tell them that I know what you're doing. Stop. Get a real career. Get something normal to do with your life. And maybe that's helping you now, but you're creating ridiculous karma right there. So whatever, I guess it's none of my business, but I get to share this fantastic, beautiful, colorful masterpiece with you. And, I was thinking that could be probably a good merch. I can make a merch out of this one. I'm happy about it. So if you also want to get certified as therapeutic art practitioner, this is what you can do. You can go to primolearn.com, and they have few courses that very, very well put together. I took therapeutic art practice. There was 8 modules. They have PDFs. You read it online at your own pace. And you can also listen to the audio, which is what I did when I was driving, for example. What was also awesome, I got myself a binder and I just printed every module so I can highlight the material that is important to me. This is basically what it looked like. And then at the end of every module, there is a quiz to test your observations. And at the end of all modules, there is an exam. When you pass the exam, you get a digital certificate, and you can also request to get a golden seal certificate. So this is what I just received in mail. I'm certified therapeutic art practitioner now. And this is, as long as you're studying, this is fairly easy. And let me show you what their website looks like. Okay, and this is how you find it. You go to primolearn.com, go to their website. You can create the account right away. You can poke around the courses that they have. And this is the first one I started with. Art therapy course. They have multiple others: Ayurveda, NLP, hypnotherapy. And I purchased few extra here, but I have yet studied it. Now, when you select the course, you can see the companies that have put it together and made it all legit. You can go over the perks of it, and you can see the certificate that you get to request to have. You do get digital one, and you can also have the golden seal certificate. Now, you will have to pass the exam, once you're done with all the modules. You can study at your own pace. You can read it online. You can listen to it, and you can really boost up your knowledge in psychological aspects of creativity. And it's a really nice tool to have in your creative tool belt. So check it out. Use the link in the description of this video to get 10% off. I wish you luck. Stay creative. And speaking of purging your feelings, this is the reason I've taken a therapeutic art practice course, because I've realized art being therapeutic is very good at purging your emotions. Right here, even though I find this painting maybe slightly aggressive, I was happy to make it fun, and I was happy to make it bold and ruthless as my scammers were. I am no longer mad at them. I've got my lesson. It was a valuable lesson. I got to reevaluate my relationship with money. I got to reevaluate my relationship with whom I trust. I've got to reevaluate my relationship with my closed ones, with whom I was sharing my experience, my closest peers. And I've also got to reevaluate my relationship with myself, because at that point I felt strongly the necessity of healthy boundaries. I needed time for myself to seclude and separate from the world, to reflect onto what happened. And I took few days off to sit by myself, be in silence, meditate, do nothing, cleaning up in my house, and also creating. Another project I did was it was a treasure chest. I have a video of it earlier, and I'm really happy that I have this inspirational urge to put something together with my hands, or paint, or just doodle, because I feel the release of certain thoughts and emotions through that process. And at first I was hesitating to actually make this painting, because it seems maybe very too straightforward. Nevertheless, I'm happy that it's done. It's better being painted than not. And for anybody who wants to borrow this to send it to their scammers, be my guest. Maybe I will make a t-shirt out of this. I don't know yet. But if you have ever been scammed, or fell for fraud, or had to deal with dishonesty that involved financial issues, don't hesitate to share your experience with me here and show me how you cope with that. Do you also create? Do you paint? Do you share with people? Do you speak it out loud? How do you cope with your traumatic experiences? And if you're also creative, if you like to paint, send me a link to one of your creative pieces that was a catharsis to whatever you were experiencing. Sometimes maybe we may be depressed with unresponsive love, or maybe losing someone dear to us. And sometimes all we can do is create, and to put it out in a way that releases the pain from the inside. I've heard this concept that when we are happy, it's better to keep it inside, because then this feeling cultivates and actually envelops your whole body from the inside. But when we are hurt, we better express it out loud, put it out to the world, share it with others, because then somebody will reflect on that and have a solution for you. Because with my experience with this scam artist, I was holding a lot of it myself, because I thought I was all smart fancy pants. I will boost up my money and I will share with the world, and that worked all sorts of backwards. So when I decided that I get to have this experience, and even though it's traumatic, it's painful, it was very ugly. It felt very ugly for a moment. I realized that I grew stronger from it, and now I get to share it with other people. And if you're also experience something like this, don't be afraid to share it. Be open about it. People will understand. Nobody is judging you. People judging themselves for any reason all the time, and we are the worst judges of ourselves. We're the hardest on ourselves. So we need to learn to be kind to ourselves and give ourselves a credit for being people, for being humans, for being vulnerable, for being authentic. It's life. Nothing really wrong happens as long as you're still alive, as long as you're sharing your ideas, your experiences, your cognitions. It can be fun, even though we may be going through hardships. That's okay. You definitely will learn something from that. It's everything has some value behind it, and maybe some ugly experience feels really wrong at the moment. Just know that you will be able to see the light at the end of it. Give me a thumbs up if you like this painting. Tell me what kind of activity you do to cope with trauma, with unfairness, with your feelings. And God bless. Stay creative, and thank you for watching.